Hello, hello, beautiful. This is Okiba Anhatara, and I am asking how you doing. How you doing this February? We know February is known for Black History Month, absolutely, as well as Valentine's Day, or we, often like to call it Black Love Month. And so this month, I am going to be speaking about things dealing with the heart, dealing with love, right? We finished our mini series on anger. Please check that out if you haven't. And we're going to talk about love and the heart this month, as well as a little bit of Black history and some other topics around that. We also have President's Day, right? We have that this month. I know we don't always pay attention to that in the African American community, but it's it is something that our nation takes as a holiday. And actually, Black History Month, part of its start was linked to one of our presidents, as you probably know, Abraham Lincoln, as well as Frederick Douglass. Their birthdays. Frederick Douglass's birthday is February 14th, and Lincoln's birthday was the 12th. And so it was during that period of time as to when Dr. Carter G. Woodson, who is really the founding mind behind the idea of a Black History Month, that's why he centered it around that time. It was actually Black History Week, Black History Weekend, I even want to say Black History Week, and this was a time in the 1920s where, coming short off of slavery and emancipation over 40, 60 years in the making, and African Americans doing their thing and being on their own and progressing, having historically Black colleges and universities and schools and cities and townships, and doing all sorts of wonderful things. And so, Dr. Carter G. Woodson wanted Black History Week to be a time to highlight all of the excellence that was happening in science, in mathematics, in sociology and psychology, and in all of these areas where Black people were making gains, so that we were not looked at as these helpless, hopeless people who just had, you just came out of slavery and you're just terrible. No, let's highlight the good. And so that's what it was about. And people came from all over to see the highlighted works of African Americans who had come to share in all of their they had exhibits and displays, and he just saw that this was a great thing. And I want to say it was in Chicago, New York. Please forgive me for that. I'll link it down below to make sure exactly where I knew it was. I think it was in Chicago, where everyone was coming to visit all of the wonderful things, like almost like a display, like how they have world fairs, and the scientists and sociologists and linguists and all the people who were doing work had their information displayed so everyone could see it. And so what happened as a result of that, I'm just doing a nice little recap of Black History Month. Teachers across the nation, Black teachers across the nation, started to request information so that they could teach Black history and teach all of these wonderful things, and have images of Black excellence and Black writings and Black science and mathematics, et cetera, to teach their students. And this is what really pushed it forward. And it wasn't until the 1960s, really right at 1970, when Black History Month actually became a month. It was in one of the universities out in California where the students pushed for this to be an idea for a month-long celebration. Just making a point, Dr. Carter G. Woodson never thought that this was something that would or should continue indefinitely, because he thought that this would be a way to highlight excellence, and that we would, as African Americans, continue on this pattern and wouldn't necessarily need to have a particular time where we were highlighting the achievements of Blacks for a week-long or for a month-long period of time. Not saying anything is wrong with having a full Black History Month, but just wanting to highlight that what he highlighted was Black excellence. And over the years, it's kind of become, well, we might spend time talking a lot about slavery. We may start talking about African past. We may talk about a lot of things that kind of deviates a little bit from off of, or in some ways a lot from off of what Dr. Carter G. Woodson was speaking about. His idea, if I may, interject my thought on based on reading, it wasn't about so much Black people being the first Black person to do this or to do that, but rather Black excellence, where we as African Americans and where Black people were making a mark in science and mathematics and literature and arts, and it really wasn't defined by our Blackness, like you weren't simply great because you were the first Black person to become this or to do that. That to me is American history. When we talk about this, the first Black president of the United States, that's a great achievement, yes. But I look at that, and we can look at this as Black history, absolutely. I wouldn't deny it of that. But to me, that's largely an achievement for America. It's showing that the door of racism is sliding back some, and America is trying to grow and trying to mature. When you see other nationalities, and when you see women, and when you see diversity in these spaces that were not diverse, that to me, a person can hold on to that as their history, but that to me is more of American history and showing that America is growing as a nation, right? So with that being said, just talking about the types of things that a person could do, or you can do as a family for Black History Month, highlighting excellence, Black excellence. And you don't have to make it just for the month of February, but every day, any day, anytime you see it, anytime you see Black excellence somewhere, highlight it, make it stand out, show it to your children, be like, yes, I'm highlighting that, I'm supporting that, that's Black excellence, and always helping them to see that, this is Team Black, I'm an American, I support America, but I'm Team Black, you know what I mean? Like, yes, this is sister, she rising to that position. A Black mayor, a Black governor, they're rising to these positions. Yes, we want to support that Black excellence. Another thing that we used to do, or should I say that we've done in previous years, is on the weekends, typically on Sunday, I would do some sort of a lesson regarding a theme that I would have for the month. And last year I focused mostly on Black and African folklore, really mostly African American folklore, and one in particular, like we talked about High John the Conqueror, and I had some of the oils, and we had some songs, and somebody did a really good video on it, and I showed that, and we talked about it, and it was really interesting. My husband was surprised; he thought it was gonna be like corny, but it was really good, and everybody liked it. And so things like that, highlight and stuff. And also something that I try to make a point to do is to buy something for my children, some sort of book or video pertaining to Black history during Black History Month. And a year-long activity that I was doing with my sister was purchasing a Black classic book, like a Carter G. Woodson book, like a Dr. Chancellor Williams book, one of those once a month, to have them on the bookshelf, even if I hadn't finished the books, or even if they're sitting there, but to build a fabulous home library of classic Black literature, scholarly works, as well as other things like Zora Neale Hurston's anthology. Gotta have that one on the shelf. Things like that you can do also for Black History Month as an ongoing thing, because to me it's not just about the month, but we do that so that other people can share in it, but as a people having and knowing this and always highlighting Black excellence and Black culture. All right, that's it for now. Share with your family, do some things for Black History Month, but have it as an ongoing thing, like how they used to say on one of those stations, Black History 365. And it's not just Black history, it's American history as well. So that's it for now. If you'd like to give it a thumbs up, share with someone who hasn't, who you think might like it. And again, be beautiful inside and out. And I will see you next time. Peace.